Now, you know, I'm a Rivers girl and haven't lived in Rivers State for over a decade. I know firsthand that the mangroves are more than just trees. They are a way of life. Seafood was a staple on my plate, and you could never catch me eating my vegetables without a touch of pium, you know, those unshelled periwinkles that melt into a very rich vegetable soup. And let's not forget ingolo or stars and ofingo, clams, delicacies straight from the mangroves. But beyond the flavors, these waters provide livelihoods, sustaining communities with an abundance of fish and raffia palms for various needs. Now, the mangroves, whether fresh or salt water, are the heartbeat of coastal life. So what happens when this livelihood is choked by oil spills? Now, that's been the harsh reality for years. But the real question should be, how are the people coping in the face of such devastation? Charles Alpha had the rare privilege of visiting some affected areas in River State, and here's what he found out.
Kedere, a community in Gokana local government area of River State, remains heavily concentrated after 30 years of non-oil activities.
If you look around, you will see fish ponds being overtaken by oil coming out from the ground. I'm told that in this place there are about 68 oil fields, and what it means is that it is the most impacted in River State.
Everywhere on this field is soaked up. Every deep footprint is filled with oil. But here, nature is fighting back. There are lives still finding expressions in the midst of it all. Crops are finding their ways around, but most importantly, mangroves are surviving the concentration.
After the degradation, you have nothing left. You have a place where fishes, periwinkles, snails, and all life that could have thrived is not thriving as it should. But should we restore what has been left out? We get this back. And that's why for us, we're talking about mangrove restoration, conservation, and protection. This shows me that even in the midst of nothing, there is hope.
These mangroves are standing right in the middle of the polluted field. And somehow, members of this community believe their survival can only mean life, and livelihoods can at least get back to the way they were if the restoration, protection, and conservation plan of mangroves by the federal government is carried out effectively.
Knowing that there are people now beginning to look into the rural communities beyond Abuja and Port Harcourt, coming to find out how they can partner and empower the communities to know their rights and know what they have to do. If there are initiatives, if there are funding opportunities, if they need to teach us how we can help to preserve the environment, we'll be delighted.
We are talking to the youth to make sure that we don't involve in anything that will bring negativity on our environment.
Protecting lives and property and the well-being of the citizens is one of the primary functions of the government. I think as a government, we need to put our heads together now that we're beginning to have this collaboration to see how we can maybe declare some of these areas under a state of emergency.
Although HYPREP is carrying out remediation operations here, the Director General, National Council on Climate Change Secretariat, Nkiru Kamadu Ekwe believes with River State domesticating the Climate Change Act, both government, including the affected communities, can co-create a sustainable environment everyone can call home. There was a town hall meeting earlier at Kedere and a visit to the palace of the Birimene of Gokana Kingdom, where the DG presented the Climate Change Act.